Welcome to Integrity Inspire, your daily dose of inspiration and motivation, featuring the bright and talented members of the Integrity Marketing Group family. Now, here's your host, Integrity co-founder and CEO, Bryan W. Adams.
All right. Well, hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining today's Inspire podcast. Man, we have a very special guest joining us today. This business really, and you've heard this a lot throughout this podcast, is this business really is a family business. And it's pretty common to see agencies being passed on from one generation of the family to the next. And today's guest comes from a really, really long line of insurance professionals. But he wasn't sure he really wanted to continue that family tradition. In fact, he actually pursued a number of different potential careers before returning to the insurance business. And our business has benefited tremendously from that journey because Chad Milner has made a tremendous difference, not only as an integrity partner, but as a leader in the entire industry. Chad Milner is co-founder of North American Senior Benefits, or NASB, and also is president and CEO of the Milner Group, a company that was founded by his great-grandfather in 1950. Since deciding to make his move into the family business, Chad has been a dynamic force in the industry and is a nationally recognized leader for his skill of product design and leadership just as a whole in the life and annuity world. He is also currently serving as the chairman of the National Association of Independent Life Brokerage Agencies, or better known as NALBA, which is the premier trade association in the insurance and financial services marketplace. It is the who's who of the life insurance world that is a member of NALBA. And Chad is literally the chairman of that entire organization, which is an incredible honor for us to have him not only as a partner in integrity, but also as a great friend. Frankly, you won't find anybody who's more plugged into what's happening in our industry today, nor will you find anyone who's more committed to serving the needs of the clients and the Americans that need our products. And to make this, just like what we talked about Patrick just a minute ago, sometimes God just gives like a lot of gifts and abilities to certain individuals, and Chad is one of those people. In fact, Chad has accomplished all of this before he was 40 years old, so not bad for a guy who wasn't sure that he even wanted to do this for a living. So my good friend Chad Milner, welcome to the podcast. Appreciate you joining us today, my man.
Thank you, Bryan, for that warm introduction. It's a pleasure to be here.
Man, appreciate the opportunity. First of all, dude, Patrick was legit, was he not? That was you guys had a couple of people. You guys had a couple of really Blair and Dr. J from NASB join us on as semifinalists, and then you hear Patrick. It's like, oh my gosh, some of the talent here is amazing. We even had Craig Harvey sing Coronaville whenever he joined us on the podcast, which is, you guys just seem to have all the talent over there.
Yeah, it makes me wonder how much time they have to actually sell. They're so good.
Yeah, well, that's another story. But man, maybe it's just driving to the office, you just sing or swing in the shower. But they are certainly incredibly talented people. Well, man, Chad, your family has been in the insurance business for, some might say, decades, right? I mean, your great-grandfather started y'all's agency, your company, in the 1950s, and your family's still in the business. But a lot of people don't know this, but your family actually has been in the insurance business a lot longer than that, right? I mean, your great something grandfather actually started selling insurance right after he started selling fire insurance, I believe, right after Sherman burnt Atlanta during the Civil War, right?
Yeah, that's right. Around 1865, my great-grandfather, John C. Whitner, started a PNC agency in Atlanta. I guess it was good timing. People knew that fires were around. So,
talk about an opportunistic venture here. Like, hey guys, you might know this fire can be pretty destructive. Let me sell you some insurance for that. And I mean that goes back. So 1860, is that right?
Yeah, 1865, I believe, right after the Civil War. He started a PNC agency that was eventually sold. But my great grandfather, Willis Milner, was in insurance also, and then Willis J. Milner Jr., my great grandfather, he started our agency in 1957. He died. He actually died at a insurance commission. He was a GA for I believe it was West Virginia. He died 2 years later after he started the brokerage agency at a convention, and my grandfather ended up taking over a couple years later. So I mean, I grew up in this business, much like many of the of our kids are going to grow up in this business. Your kids, that it's a great business where you can build a legacy. But I went to college and I thought I wanted to be pre-med, but I just didn't. I didn't like the schooling as much. I just wanted to do something a little different. After college, I started a painting business, believe it or not, painting houses, and I did pretty well with it. I mean, we had up to 50 employees. We were running 3 crews. We painted some churches and fraternity houses, but I just realized there was a cap on that and there was a ceiling. So I just wanted something more. And honestly, it was hard to date girls when you always had paint on your clothes or you had a drive around a paint truck.
Unless they needed a handyman and to paint a wall or something, then you start wondering why they're dating you.
That's right. So, I met my wife after college. I met her in college, but we were more acquaintances. And after college, I met her, and she really inspired me to. I didn't know what I wanted in life before I met her, and she just inspired me to really want to have a family and have a house, and kind of the white picket mentality where, I'm kind of a millennial, so I didn't really know what I wanted, and living off my parents, and but she really inspired me to want to do more, and I just started working hard. And some people say I have the gift of discernment, and I guess that's true. But so I wanted to get out of the painting business, sold that business to my partner at the time, got out of it, and I wanted to get into the insurance business. Growing up in it, I saw all the benefits of it. I really did like it. It took me a while to realize how great our business was, but it's just an amazing business. So my dad introduced me to a competitor, actually, of the Milner Agency, which is our family business. It's been around for 60-plus years, life brokerage. But the competitor, Henning Anderson, he was 68 years old. He was retired, and he had an annuity brokerage company, and he taught me everything about annuities. It was just the two of us in his office. He used to be the CEO of a company with 1,500 employees. So he was a very bright guy. Taught me about balance sheets, income statements, just brilliant guy. But he taught me how to recruit and told me to pick up the phone. He would make me have 100 calls a day, calling agents. So I learned really quickly that you had to have a lot of activity in this business. And he was just a great mentor. Eventually he retired. We took over his business, brought it into the Milner Group. And that's where I started the annuity department here at the Milner Group about 20 years ago.
Wow. So you went from painting houses to running the department, to working with this gentleman, being mentored into business and learning the annuity business, to then running a whole department in your family's company in the span of just a few years. That's a serious turn of events, buddy. You could have just gone and just kept going with what you guys were doing at the Milner Group. I mean, the Milner Group is seriously one of the best known, most well-respected agencies in the life insurance brokerage group. and you could have made just an incredible career out of that, but you wanted something even more. And that led you to founding and starting North American Senior Benefits. Walk us through how all that went down.
Yeah, so in 2008, some of you may know, the SEC proposed the Rule 151A. And what it would have done is it would change distribution for annuities, where you'd have to have a securities license. It would have really turned the whole industry upside down. Could have possibly damaged the life insurance distribution as well. Thankfully, that never happened, but there were several years we didn't know what was going to happen. And so that scared me a little bit, because I had built up a good income, a good business on annuity sales. So I wanted to look at other businesses, and I love the senior market. And I liked the renewals that were in MedSup, Final Expense. And so I looked at those and actually started a little company called North American Retirement Services, NARS. Had a logo. I sold about 100 clients over the phone with MedSup, doing direct mail leads. I hired a guy who was probably not the right guy for that position, but he helped me manage it. And we did all right. But it just wasn't, I didn't have my full attention to it yet. And then within the next couple of years, I started looking at Final Expense. Really enjoyed Final Expense, really liked it, saw the benefits that were out there. 2010, 2011, and even into 12, I met a couple other guys who were Final Expense agents, and I was just amazed at the numbers they were doing. 100,000 plus in premium of each. Each person working for them was making good money, but I thought I could do it better. And I had a vision for a different model. Just divine intervention. I met Craig in 2012, I guess January of 2012. Met Craig, and we hit it off. We shared the same vision, and that's when we decided to form NASB.
Wow, so you meet Craig Harvey. I think networking is so important when you interact with and surround people or surround yourself with strong people. It helps you so much. It's one of the things I love about the Integrity platform, and I think makes it so special, is you bring in the best of the best working together as one, and it makes all of us better. And it sounds like you and Craig really had this symbiotic relationship, which was just this complementary relationship of ways that you had the contacts, you had the potential in the market, he had the sales ability, and combining those two together, it was just a really powerful force. So what was it like getting NASB off the ground and making it such a huge success as it is today?
Yeah, so, in the beginning, I just realized that I can't do it all myself, but I do have an attitude where success is the only option. We're not going to fail. If it can be done out there and we've seen other people do it, we're going to figure it out. And the only way to do that in business, in my opinion, and back then it's what we did, is I surrounded myself with people that were way better than I was at Final Expense specifically. Craig was the best that I had seen in the business, Final Expense sales and recruiting and leading people in this business. So I knew he was the best. And I don't have a problem saying that, but if you surround yourself with people like that and partner with people like that, that's where success comes. And that's where it came with us. We definitely had challenges. In the beginning, it took us about 18 months to become profitable. And I remember having a meeting with Craig. I called him to a lunch meeting. I said, Craig, I'm going to have to shut this down. I said, all my projections have got to be off. Something's wrong. We're just not making money yet. And we've had some heavy discussions, some yelling and fighting, but we were both committed to the vision. We found a way to make it work. And a lot of it was surrounded with leads and the cost with leads. And I'll tell you, another employee we had that was great, and I'll embarrass her a little bit, but we have a test to hire people. And I created this test and a really lengthy process to find the right people for a job. And our lead manager, Megan, at the time, Megan Kelly, she's been married, but we had a test and we lost the answer to the test, so we had to recreate it real quick. When we interviewed Megan, she took the test. I was interviewing her. I said, well, you only missed one question. And she said, well, no, I didn't. And I'm thinking, who is this girl telling me she did? I went and checked it. She said, what answer did I miss? I went and looked at it, and she was right. We had the answer wrong. So, my point is there, we got phenomenal staff, and I hired her right on the spot, but she helped us with our lead program tremendously. So, just surrounding ourselves with people that are better than we are and aren't afraid to tell us when we're wrong or to point us in the right direction, that was key. Since then we've had, I wouldn't say explosive growth. We've had steady growth every year, 100% growth. And it's just the whole idea that success is the only option. We're going to make it through this, and it's been a fun ride. It really has.
Yeah, for most of the business world, I think we'd all agree that 100% a year growth is explosive growth. So that is amazing. I think a lot of people look at people in business, and certainly people like yourself and Craig, who are just such amazing people and just so magnetic. I mean, people just gravitate to you. And you see like the success you've had, and you think, well, man, it had to come easy to them. People don't realize those tough conversations, those lunches where you're sitting there going, dude, I don't think we're ever going to make money. I don't think this is ever going to make it. We may have to shut this down. But choosing the fact that success is the only option. We're going to do whatever it takes, even if we go broke. We're going to do whatever it takes to make it through this. And I think sometimes in business, you just have to keep at it. Success doesn't come without struggle. You have the right, when you have the right vision, the right partners, man, you just have to ride through it together. And I'm glad you and Craig were able to see that clearly, make adjustments that you need, and work through some of the challenges that certainly benefited, both of you guys, and has also been a great benefit to Integrity. And I think as you kind of look at just what North American Senior benefits and you guys have just amazing partners with Jordan and Keith, and I could just keep going down the list of just amazing people that you guys have there at Integrity that are at NASB that have just continued to fight, right? And the Isaacs of the world and the Evan Broaches and Josh Sherrill and you just keep going like through this list of people. I'm just thinking about them, just going, man, it's such a testament to say, yeah, it's going to be tough, but you've got to keep going. You've got to keep going, and that benefits people like Ashley, who's one of your partners, and others that just go, man, okay, there is a path because they went through this struggle. I can go through that struggle, and I think there's a lot of people even on the call today. What you just talked about is your mentor taught you got to make the calls. Like you got to get on the phone. You got to make 100 calls. You got to do whatever it takes. And there's a lot of us that just go through that kind of struggle of going, man, this is a grind. This is hard. But there's a lot of opportunity on the other side. And we're very grateful you guys stuck that out and joined the Integrity platform. And especially kind of at y'all's phase in your career where y'all have gotten the business. Tell us a little bit more about y'all's thought process about joining Integrity.
Yeah, so that was interesting. And I back up a little bit. I want to give a huge shout out to all the partners. We've got 10 partners now. When we started NASB, you mentioned a lot of their names. We would not be where we are without the other 10 partners that Craig and I have. And that's part of our model that people may not understand. We built it so that people could work their way all the way up to the top and own a piece of our company. So we had 10 people do that. Like you said, Ashley Khalid became our first female partner. Just phenomenal leadership there. And, my dad always told me, he said there's a Bible verse that says, in the presence of many counselors is wisdom, right? So, surround yourself with great people. Well, our partners are very smart and wise. And so when we made a lot of big decisions, especially over the last 3 to 5 years, we had to make some changes and tweaks here and there. It was, it's not mob rule, but we had a lot of conversations with all these top leaders to make wise decisions. And the wisest decision we've made yet was joining Integrity. And I had conversations with you, early last year, and we had a lot of conversations about the model, and I didn't even want to present it until I was ready to do it. I had some conversations with them, and you remember all the partners came down and saw your office, and they were just blown away with what you showed us. And, you know, we had a great business model. We still do. We didn't necessarily need integrity to be successful, but it was a no-brainer for me to get to the absolute next level for our people, for the people in NASB that I love and that are our partners in this. I mean, a lot of young people. Our average age is probably 40 or below with all of our leaders. And so it's like the icing on the cake, integrity was for us. And it's allowing us to go to the next level. Like I said, I'm 40 years old. A lot of our managers are. We've got another 20-plus years in this career. And it was a no-brainer. Everything I saw with integrity, it's the platform that's going to help us grow to the next level. And I'm super excited about the rest of my career with integrity.
Well, we are excited, and it's given even more opportunities. You know, like Lance, who has been able to expand his role and responsibility, and many others there at NASB. You guys have just so many phenomenal people, and I think it really starts from the top with you and Lance and Craig and just the team of saying we're going to do this thing the right way. We're going to be committed to really leading with integrity. And it's been a blessing to watch you guys do that. So thank you for joining this partnership, and we can't wait to make that ride with you for the next 20 years and maybe more.
Absolutely, thank you, Bryan.
So hey man, let me hit on one other thing, because I don't think you are the chairman of NALBA, and that is the primary. I mean, it's really the main association of the big life insurance agencies and brokerage agencies. That is just a huge deal, especially at the age of 40, for you to be the leader of the largest association in the entire country. It's the who's who of everybody in the life insurance world. And I'm talking about really large life insurance brokerage groups, and also all the way into the senior market. I mean, the spectrum is huge. And if you go to a NALBA conference, it's the biggest event in the insurance business, I think. Just give us a quick plug for NALBA and how you got involved in there and some of the things you guys are working on and why it's so important, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so NALBA was started, I believe, about 45 years ago. It's older than me. My grandfather was a founding member, and it was started because life insurance back 50-plus years ago was distributed through career agents, and they would only sell for Mass Mutual or Northwestern Mutual or MetLife or New York Life, and they were a career agent just for that company. So their underwriting was strict. They didn't have a lot of products. So the whole independent brokerage movement started back then about 60 years ago. And obviously it's become what it is today, but it was almost a fight against those big mutual companies. And so all the distributors in the business, back then there were probably 25 to 50, they all banded together and started the National Association of Independent Life Brokerage Agencies. And over time, it's become over half of all life insurance sold is through NALBA members. And definitely if you look at all of independent distribution, which is what we're part of, it's a big part of why we have so many products, so many great products that are out there to consumers, is because of independent distribution. And so we've got 300 plus members as an association. Like I said, over half of all life insurance comes through the distribution. We partner with other great associations like AALU for their lobbying efforts. So we don't do any lobbying in Congress. What we do is we fight for independent distribution, making sure carriers understand the value of distributing through independent IMOs, BGAs, whatever you call us. But so that's really the purpose, is fighting for independent distribution, giving us one voice out in the world and in Congress sometimes, but really with the insurance carriers so they understand the value that we provide.
Well, one of our core values here is service and giving back. And it would be easy for you to focus on just just yourself and everything that you've got going on there at North American Senior Benefits and Milner Group. But I love the fact that you take time to give back. And you got two young boys. You coach teams. You and Wendy have an amazing family. So you're involved in a lot of stuff, including your church and other things. But the fact that you take time to give back to our industry is something I personally want to say thank you for. We need more people like you that are willing to give back. And I know it takes countless hours, because I've been on some of those calls with you. I know it takes just countless hours, a lot of time, and a lot of dedication to make sure that independent distribution, which is what we focus on, is represented well. And I don't think that there's anybody that I could think of that I would rather have representing all of us than you, Chad. So, brother, I appreciate you. I appreciate all that you and Craig and Lance and the entire team, all the partners there at NASB have done, and where you guys are going. We feel like some of the things we're all working on together is we're just getting started. So thanks again, my man. I really appreciate you.
Thank you, Bryan. It's a pleasure to be a partner at Integrity. It really is.
I appreciate you, man. Well, hope everybody has an incredibly blessed day. Look forward to connecting with you guys tomorrow and just continuing this journey together. So hope everybody has a blessed day. God bless you all. We'll talk to you soon.